Hello and welcome to the very first homebrew edition of Battle of the Ports. This week we are taking a look at UWOL Quest for Money, which first hit the ZX Spectrum 128K back in 2009. The game comes from Spanish developer Monjon Twins, with various ports handled by other independent devs. The plot of the game is simple. UWOL likes money. One day he heard about Storm Palace, a very old manor full of gold coins that is located next to Cantos Forest. Although the manor was guarded by dangerous creatures, UWOL decided not to give up until he gets at least 255 coins. The gameplay is fairly simple. Collect all the coins while avoiding enemies. You can take 2 hits before you die, but each time you're hit, a t-shirt icon will appear. Grab that icon and you've got yourself an extra hit point. Still, you can't dawdle around the stages. Take too long and the ghost will come after you. Should you manage to collect all the coins without dying first, you'll be given a choice to move on to the next stage by standing and pushing down on either the left or right arrow where available. The first port was to the Commodore 64 in 2010. This port, while getting many things right, such as the great rendition of the music and graphics that make it easier to distinguish certain items, it also fails in that the collision detection can be off at times. I noticed in quite a few instances I couldn't get my character to jump through a space unless it was pixel perfect. This is unfair because there was clearly room for the character to fit through the available gap. This never happened on the ZX Spectrum original. Also in 2010 we got the Commodore 16 plus 4 port, which looks pretty nice but is unfortunately flawed in that it's much harder to jump over the enemies in this version. It's as if whoever did this port made the enemies too large for the actual maps. It wasn't until 3 years later we got the next port in 2013, and surprisingly it was for the Super Nintendo. This version got all new upgraded music, which is pretty cool, and sound effects ripped straight out of Sega's Wonder Boy and Monster Land from the Master System. Sadly, just like the C64 and Commodore Plus 4 versions, this is flawed due to the devs making it a real pain to jump over enemies. Also in 2013 we got the Mega Drive version, which doesn't sound as nice as the SNES, but I do prefer how it plays. The SNES version was or felt too fast, whereas this Mega Drive version feels more controllable. A few more years passed until 2016 when we got an MSX2 port, and this is the best port so far. The game plays really well and feels more like the ZX Spectrum original than any other version yet. The jumping is correct and the speed is right. The game also looks really good, with possibly the best defined graphics so far. Another port in 2016 was to the Superpowers HTML5 2D and 3D Game Maker, which runs in browsers. I'm running this version in Windows 7. The gameplay is slower than the original but feels quite nice. The music is actually quite mellow, so quite fitting for the pace of this version of UWOL.
There's no turning back now.
In 2017, an Atari Jaguar port was released, but I do wonder if this is complete as the jumping is all over the place. Sometimes you can jump through walls and sometimes your character won't jump or can't jump far enough. I do like all the additional extras found in this version, from the falling coins on the title screen and the Pac-Man-like chase sequence. The addition to the game's intro is also nice to see. It's just a shame that the gameplay is a bit slow and janky compared to some other ports. Finally, in 2018 there was an Amiga port, and I really don't want this to be the case because I'll have all the Amiga fanboys taking a hissy fit because a game on their precious system is the worst version, but in this case it truly is. You can see from the footage that your main character jumps way too high, making all the stages play differently. In fact, you can cheat. But that still won't help you much, because the controls are awful, so slippery. Again, you can see from the footage that every time I stop moving, the character slides. Don't take my word for it, try it out for yourself. And let's take a look at all those versions of UWOL running side by side.